Okay, so just say and spell your name.
Sure. I'm Christina Brooks, and it's Christina, Kristina, Brooks, Brooks.
Okay, and maybe come a little bit closer. I'm sorry, I just want to get like, zoom out. I just want to get like the volume.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay, so, man, I don't even, maybe I should have typed questions.
Okay.
Because I have so many. Okay, so so have you experienced like hauntings or paranormal activity here, and then tell me about it and how long ago and how often, and maybe just like start like that.
I would say that frequently, like almost every day, people call on the phone or they'll come in for their reservation and they'll be like, so is it haunted? And we're like, yes, it definitely is. And it's not, in my opinion, ever the experience of like a loud bang, like, oh, what was that sound? Or like, oh my gosh, I just saw a ghost. It's never really anything like that. It's more an extended experience that you can't rationalize, and then once it's over, you're like, wow. You know what I mean? So, I serve breakfast to the bed and breakfast guests every morning. And bye guys, thank you so much. I serve bed and breakfast guests every morning for breakfast, and they come down and they tell me their stories from the evening. And so I hear it, every day. And so one morning, this couple came down from room number 5, which is the Daniel Boone room, and they called me over to their breakfast table, and they said, do you have the housekeepers come in your bedroom and ask if you're coming down for breakfast? And I was like, no, it's just me and the chef here right now. It was literally like 7:30 in the morning, probably 7:30 or 8. I was like, no, it's just me and the chef. And he goes, someone came in our room. They came in my room, they shook my shoulder like this. He says, I got up out of bed and I told them no. I looked over at my wife and she was sleeping. I looked back and they were gone. 3 days later, another couple came down, sat at the exact same table, came from the exact same room, and he looked mad. He looked mad, and there was no one else in the dining room, so I approached him. I was like, sir, is everything okay? Did we do something wrong? Can I help you with something? His face was red. He throws his arms in the air. He says, did you guys have a huge wedding party here last night or something? And I literally was like, we had some guests stay next door at the Talbot Inn, which is our modern rooms, but you were the only guests here in the historic part of the building. His face turns white. He says, for hours I sat in the chair in my room and I watched groups of people walk by my door and I never heard any footsteps. And then they got up in the morning, their door was unlocked. Dang.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So I've heard like that there's like pillows or whatever is placed in a chair in the Daniel Boone room.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen anything like that? Or?
So that pillow used to be in there, and it was weird. It had like this crochet mesh on it, and it was kind of, I don't know if it was like a heart or something, like print, but it would always get flipped upside down, and it made it look like this really, really evil face. That pillow is now out of the room, and I don't know whose decision it was, but I think it was a good one. Anytime I walk in that room, or I used to walk in that room because I won't go in there anymore, I feel physically heavier. Like, it's really hard to describe, but it feels like the gravity is weighing you down. I immediately get a headache, immediately get nauseous, can't. And I do tours all the time through the building, and I just, go on. You guys can go on in, but I'll stay here. It's a lot. My opinion is that because in that room there's just one window and it's facing toward the jail. The Jailer's Inn is another bed and breakfast, but it's the old jail from back in the day. I imagine what the people who stayed in that room like saw through the window. You know what I mean? Like the really bad stuff. And all that energy kind of coming in and staying. I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah.
What about like the Shadow Man? Can you tell me anything about that?
So I don't know if we're talking about the same Shadow Man, the one in the hallway.
Yeah.
So there's a shadow.
Wait, is there another one?
There's multiple shadows that I experience regularly. So like I said, I serve breakfast in the morning to the guests. And every morning when I'm setting up the space, before they get in there, the guests, there's someone standing by the coffee machine. Yeah, it's a lot. And the black shadow figure is also seen in the Concord, which is the old ballroom. We now use it as a meeting space and, for private events and stuff. But there's a shadow figure that stands in the far left-hand corner that a lot of people see. Yeah.
I had a friend back in, my husband and I moved here in the end of 2015, so it was when we were visiting, and we were at the bar. And his name was Sam, and he told me about like the basement, that it's like the scariest place was the basement. He also told me about some reflections in the mirror in the bar.
Okay, so the basement is terrifying. It's made of the same stone that makes up the historic tavern, so you can picture that. Some of the spaces are very small, like you have to turn to your side or duck down. There is a space in the back where there are shackles on the ceiling, so it's evident a very dark history that just happens to come with this building, and it's a huge space, and it feels I don't know, like we frequently go down there to get product, but it feels untouched. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And my coworker one time experienced someone from the basement, like getting a phone call from the basement. So we're hosts, so we sit at the front desk and answer the phone, and there was a phone call from the basement, which doesn't have a phone in there anymore.
That's creepy.
How
Just like the light on the phone, they're all labeled, and it like.
Oh.
I know what you're talking. I'm a server too, so I understand what
Yeah.
you're saying. Yeah.
And you'll like get.
Wow.
I think maybe we should touch about the shadow figure one more time.
Okay.
So the shadow figure that we see in the hallway, the one that is in that YouTube video or whatever. So in my opinion, oh gosh, I get so.
I'm having goosebumps.
Okay, so in the video, it's facing from room 4 down the hallway, so 5 and then 6. Okay, so that's the Anton Heinrich room, the Daniel Boone, and then the Washington Irving suite. And at the end of the hallway turns left, and that's where the fire escape was. So in the video, the figure comes from around the corner. You can see it, in my opinion, turn toward the camera, meaning down toward 5 and 4. And I think it looks like someone is like army crawling.
Oh my god.
And like,
Because I told my husband.
I literally
I
feel
told my
that.
husband it looks like some demon dog.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it definitely is low.
Oh
But
my
if
gosh,
if
that like.
the way that I see it, I just feel like someone's army crawling, and it feels and looks like they don't have any back legs.
Oh,
And so you see him come around the corner. You see it come around the corner, turn toward the camera, come forward a little bit, and then to your right is the gift shop closet. So it's a stock room. It used to be the elevator. So he turns, in my opinion, this is not widely discussed. It's not like this is what everyone thinks, this is what I think. Turns toward the gift shop closet, which was the elevator, and it literally looks like he slips down into it.
wow.
I can't. It freaks me out. And so I was talking with my general manager about it, and she said, Christina, I was here when those ghost investigators came. She said, that video was taken right after we hung the pictures in the hallway of the Civil War soldiers.
That's what I was thinking. Was like,
And it
has to
literally
be
just
like a
made-
soldier.
it just made too much sense, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've got like serious goosebumps.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Wow.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just like, whoa.
I feel like
I'm
I know. I feel like I could talk about it forever. One time we had a group of investigators rent out all 6 rooms here, and we gave them access to this room. So they were really excited about that. And when they got here, they were like yeah, we're ready. We're so excited to be doing this, and we're really passionate, and blah, blah. The next morning when they came down for breakfast, they were like stoic, like couldn't make them laugh, couldn't make them smile, like they were not wanting to talk with me about it, you know what I mean? They were just kind of like over it. And so we had seen on the cameras in this room that they were using those rods that cross, what are they called, when the energy changes?
Oh,
They were-
do things.
The little metal rods,
I
and they
think it-
cross when whatever. So she's standing right here, and the guy is talking, and he's saying, she's trying to contact Jesse James, and she says, my arms are going numb, and he goes, hold on, just one more question, and all of a sudden she flies backwards. Not like
What?
passes out. We all know what that looks like. She didn't like crumble. She flies back.
What?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And they were like using holy water. They said it took them like forever to bring her back, whatever. The point is, see what I mean though? It's not like, oh my god, it's not like that. It's not what people think it's gonna be like. The most compelling thing that's ever happened to me, there was 2 experiences. I'll tell one first, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So I was cleaning up from breakfast. It was about 10:30 in the morning. Everyone had checked out. I always know who's in the building, the guests, when they leave, everyone was gone. So it was me, my coworker Ashley, my manager Pam was in her office, and then the chef was in the kitchen. So it was just us. And Ashley and I had served this large party of like 12 people for breakfast in the back of the Audubon. So the room behind this wall is the Concord. That's the old ballroom from back in the day. Directly beneath that is the Audubon, which was the formal dining room. So we're cleaning up the Audubon, this big long table at the back, and we're talking, and all of a sudden, upstairs in the Concord, which is that room back there, above us, can you picture this spatially? We hear these 2 guys fighting, 2 distinct voices going back and forth. We listened with each other. We stopped. We're holding cups in place in our hands. We're stopped and we're listening for 3 minutes. 3 minutes, not 5 milliseconds of just a sound and then wondering. We were listening to these guys, and all of a sudden it gets really aggressive, and they're stomping on this. You can hear the ceiling above. Boom, 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 boom. It gets so crazy. I run over to my phone at my desk to call Pam, who's in the office. I said, call the police. These guys are going to kill each other. She's like, I don't hear anything. We run upstairs, and it's like crickets.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like nobody.
Oh my
So
god.
it's not like I was just hearing it. You know what I mean? Which in those cases, it's harder to believe it actually happened because we're human. We like to rationalize it. But because Ashley and I listened to these guys, even at the phone, even at my desk, I could still hear them up the stairs. But Pam's office is through the Audubon. Through the Concord. Through the Concord. She would have heard it the whole time. It's like crickets. It was crazy. It's too much.
So can we go look at the security
Yes,
rooms and
of
everything?
course.